All right, today we're going to give a quick overview of the midterm. Just if you have any specific questions about what's on the test, I'll be happy to answer that for you. But let me just give you the short answer is it's open book. You got 2 hours to do it. 2 hours to do it. It's multiple choice questions. It's everything we talked about, so far. You'll be fine. I don't see it as, if you had me for another course, I'm trying to figure out, without opening the test, how many questions are on here. No, I can't get to that. But it's easily doable. It's probably in an hour. I think the last time I gave this test, the longest one was 56 minutes. You got 2 hours, okay? So, and my whole philosophy on tests is, you're in college, you got to take tests. That's part of being in college. I get that. But I don't have to emphasize the tests in the grand scheme of things, and I don't. I do it as a way of getting more things to weight your grade on, so that you're not weighting it all on one thing or another. So midterms in my classes, especially the 2000 level course, are not to be feared. And here I don't go that way. So you'll be fine. If you've been doing the work up to now and you've understood what you're working on, I wouldn't lose any sleep over it, really. You've got the book there for you. The test questions came from, the test bank came from the author's companion website for the book. Questions are going to be right out of the book, right? So you'll be fine. The test does close on Sunday night. Let's see. Let me hit the edit button here just for a second. Time limit 120. Let me just verify that this is the right. It does close on Sunday, October 23rd at 11:59 p.m. So this thing will go away if you're not careful. So don't wait till the last minute. But on the other hand, it shouldn't take. I wouldn't wait till 10 o'clock on Sunday night just in case your internet connection gets lost or something like that. Just take it whenever you get a chance to do it. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and I'll probably use this time, I know we still have some, this is still a little bit off in the distance, but we're a week away from November 1st, and November is a short month for us because we've got a week gone for Thanksgiving. And typically I don't hold classes the week of Thanksgiving because half the people aren't here, and the other half who are here mentally aren't here. They're wondering, I got to catch a bus home, or I got to drive home, or I'm flying home, or whatever. So I just schedule everything around it, and everybody has the time to do what they want to do. All right, but I do want to just introduce this just briefly, the database project, which starts in week 13 or something like that, or it's listed under week 13. But I just want to cover this so that when you get to this point again, you'll say, oh yeah, I remember this now. We're going to take everything we've learned so far and create a database project. So we're going to do some design work, do some ERDs, go from the ERDs and develop tables, and then develop the database structure, and then put the data in, and then write some reports. We're going to go through the whole process all at once. So we're taking each individual piece week to week, and then, at the end we'll just do it all for a separate project. Just apply everything we've learned in one project. All right, so here we are. This is brand new too. This first semester with this project, so we're it's a fresh one. You've been asked to develop a database system for Float Your Boat Marina. Since we're in Florida, there's water all around, so place where people keep their boats. So as you can expect, the owners of the marina don't know much about, they know about boats, but they do not know much about computers. And they're currently thinking about starting a yacht brokerage, so like where people can buy and sell boats on site, and the project has 3 phases. Phase 1 has 2 parts. Theoretical meeting between you and the owners. All right, so you're going to imagine yourself meeting with the owners. We've talked several times in here about how technical people and non-technical people meet to sort of figure out the requirements of the system. So you're going to imagine this theoretical meeting with the owners where you pose questions for clarification on the system. So after you read through this, you're going to pose questions for them. What I'm looking for here is ask the question and then come up with what you think the most likely answer is, and then use that as an assumption for your system. So I assume that something is going to happen, or I assume that these are limitations on the data. It'll become clearer as we get into it. All right, so you're going to just write the questions down on a document, right? All requirements below were developed by non-technical people who have almost no experience in developing computer systems. That should be a red flag to you, because that's where your questions are going to come from. Because, somebody doesn't know the technical side of developing a database, they're going to be very naive as to what kinds of things the system has to do. So you need to have your questions answered before you can move on. So essentially you're developing assumptions. All right, phase 1A, read over the specifications below. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. Use what you've learned to develop 2 questions whose answers will make it easier for you to develop the system. Ask yourself the following questions. What information is missing? What could I learn if I had sample data? That's a big one. And when I was doing database programming back in another life, if I could just get one of their reports and you tell me what each one of these things, what's this report do? Is it a payroll report? Is it a cost report? What is it? And what are all these fields? That is such an eye-opener. Because you're developing a new system, and they're going to want this information in some other format probably, but this is what they want. This is what they get. There must be there's got to be some kind of record keeping somewhere. It could be, sometimes people write things down in a notebook. And then you want to know how serious, they mentioned this yacht brokerage idea, but how serious are they? Make an assumption about it? My guess is it's pretty serious. All right, submit before the due date, 2 weeks before the due date, submit the Word document with this stuff on it. It gives your answers to your questions and maybe a little summary of your understanding of the project. Be a good way to go. So, all right, make sure they're worded in a manner that is easy for non-technical people to understand. Don't ask what the foreign keys are, or don't use that. Just ask. We sell things. We have employees. The employees get credit for selling things. We keep track of our customers because they come back year after year after year. Those kinds of things, all right, I understand that. And so that'll help you to describe how the system is going to work. Once the questions have been received, clarifying documents will be posted on Canvas. So what I'll do is, you guys post your questions. Yeah, sorry, that's the way to do it. Don't make the assumptions. You guys post your questions, I'll post the answers. So you come up with the questions you're going to ask the owner. Imagine I'm the owner for a minute. And then I will post a clarifying question. All right. Phase 1B. Here's some background. Marina has 10 employees, 2 owners, and 8 staff members. There's 100 boats in the marina, and they do a variety of services. So we're going to see some, maybe we need to figure out what the list of services are. Launching and hauling of boats out, cleaning, waxing, repair, maintenance. The 2 owners, Don and Ted, split up the main responsibilities of the marina. Don manages the docks, Ted manages the maintenance. Docks have 4 employees, the maintenance shop has 4 employees. So the 10 people that are there, Don and Ted, each have 4 people that work for them. So maybe, maybe when you create your list of employees, you have a supervisor who they report to as part of that information. All right, for this phase of the project, develop an ERD for the system. Here's what they have so far. If you determine from your questions that other entities might be necessary, then you need to add those in. So they really don't have anything about a yacht brokerage in there, for example. Design the ability to record the cost to the customer. So somewhere in there we have to put in a price or some cost so that you could bill the customer for whatever services that you're using. And communicate, how that, all right, remember the owners are non-technical people, so a simple way of communicating is valuable. All right, phase 2 is once your ERD is complete, convert it into tables. So you list all your tables and fields, identifying primary keys and so on. And then phase 3 is putting it into Access. You populate the database with whatever you feel like. You can put in your family members as customers if you want. I do it all the time. And I get a big kick out of signing up my brother, who is non-technical as an engineering student. It just cracks me up when I do that. So be sure all your relationships work, and then run the following queries. And here are all your queries. Okay. Submit your design material and database by the due date. So the first thing you're going to submit is this. In phase 1, you're going to you read through the requirements in detail, and you're going to come up with questions. Then, and you're going to ask those questions. You'll submit those as the first part of the project, and then I will post on Canvas the answers to the questions. Well, I'll take sort of everybody's questions and pick out the most common ones, and then post the answers. Any questions so far?
So there's only 8 employees who's in charge of sales
I don't know. So if you need 4 people for the docks and you need 4 people in maintenance, then you got to hire some people.
Okay. So we can still do that. We can assume
Yeah.
that.
If it turns out that they are serious about, yacht brokerages can make a lot of money. You're selling $200,000 boats, you're taking 6 or 8% of that. That's a pretty good chunk of change just for selling a boat. So anyway, but maybe you ask about, are you going to reassign people from the yacht brokerage or from the maintenance shop? Probably not. The guy who changes the oil in somebody's boat is probably not the guy selling them. Probably not. So you need to have some more people, more than likely. But that's where we are. So for now, it's really here's the midterm. Oop. That's all right. You're going to see the questions anyways. So, all right, here we are in the midterm, and so November 13th is where you're going to send in your questions for this system, phase 1A. And then December 4th, the total project is due. Okay, let's see if there's more information there. Read the database project document. What have you learned in this course? And develop 2 questions for the owners. Submit the questions by the due date. If you want to, sure. I don't think I've ever taken points off from somebody for giving me too much information. No, yeah, absolutely. You think of 3 good ones? My guess is that most of you guys will come up with, because you're looking at this from a database design aspect, and probably come up with some pretty similar questions, but you never know.